All right, we are moving into lesson 4, and for lesson 4 we are going to be solving equations that will have rational exponents. Now it could be a whole number, or the exponent could be a fraction exponent. There'll be a couple that will be a whole number, but majority of them are going to maybe move into a fractional exponent. So we're going to start you off kind of with a whole number, because I know we did a few of the whole number ones in first semester. So we just kind of want to refresh our memory on these. So once again, your goal is to get the parentheses by itself. So get rid of any plus or minus number behind first. So I'm going to get rid of the plus 6 by subtracting it. So then I have 2 parentheses x minus 3 to the 4th power equals 512. Then we want to get rid of the 2 in front. Remember, you are not allowed to distribute the 2 to the parentheses, because the parentheses has a power attached to it. So no distributive property. Instead, you want to get rid of the 2 by dividing it. So divide the front number away. So then you have parentheses x minus 3 raised to the 4th power equals 256. And then to get rid of the 4th power, you will use a root, a radical, and you need to make sure that the index number matches the power. So I would say you need to do a 4th root on both sides. Oops, my paper moved on me there. So 4th root. Okay. On the front side, the 4th root and the 4th power cancel out, so you get x minus 3 equals. Now over here, 4th root, I don't know if you remember this when we did it first semester, but when we talked about first semester, we were doing square roots, and we said when it was a square root, you had to put a plus or minus. So remember, whenever it's an even root, okay, so I'm going to put that over here. If you put an even root on both sides, so if you put even root on both sides of the equation, what symbol do we have to put on the right side? Then on the right side, you must include plus or minus. So hopefully everybody remembers that. And so 4th root is even, so you have to do plus or minus. Okay, and then I would type in 4th root of 256 on my calculator. So remember, in order to do that, I would type in 4 x root 256. And if you type in 4 x root 256 in your calculator, it will give you 4. And because it's plus or minus, you should split that apart. So then we're going to think of it as x minus 3 equals positive 4, and x minus 3 equals negative 4. So then we're going to come up with our 2 answers. So we're going to add 3 on both equations. So we get x to equal 7 and x to equal negative 1, and those are my 2 answers. We are done. Okay, now in this section, all of your answers should check out. If you want to make sure that you get them 100% right, you could take the numbers and plug them back into the equation, but it's not like when you have roots where you have numbers that don't work out. Okay, moving over to B. I'm going to start the same way. I'm going to get rid of any plus or minus number at the end. So this one I would start by adding 6. So then I have 3 parentheses 2x plus 1 to 4/3 power equals 48. Then we're still going to get rid of the number in front by dividing it. So then I have 2x plus 1 in the parentheses raised to the 4/3 equals 16. Okay, and then same thing, we're still going to get rid of a power by using a root. It's just this time the root is going to have a fraction index number, so no big deal. So you can go 4/3 for your index number, and then you have 2x plus 1 equals, and then 4/3 index number 16. Front side, oh, I forgot my 4/3 there. So they cancel, so I get 2x plus 1 equals. Now, with a fraction index number, how are you going to know if it's a plus or a minus? Okay, so if it's a fraction one, what you have to do is you have to look at the top number, so the numerator. If the numerator is even, then you will put a plus or minus. So in our problem, our numerator is 4. 4 is even, so we will have plus or minus. Okay, so if it is a fraction index number, you look at the top, and if the top of the fraction is even, you will have to put plus or minus. Okay, if you're using a little calculator, you would do 4 ABC 3, and then you have to do x root 16. If you're doing a graphing calculator, remember the fraction key is alpha, y equals, and then you could type in 4/3. And then the x root is math, and then number 5, and then you could type in 16. And when you do that, you will get 8. So then you would want to split your plus or minus. So 2x plus 1 equals positive 8, and 2x plus 1 equals negative 8. So then I'm going to go through and solve each one. So subtract 1, so 2x equals 7. Divide, and I get x equals 3.5 as my first answer. Over here, I'm going to subtract 1, so 2x equals negative 9, and then if I divide by 2, my second answer is negative 4.5. Okay, the last one. So for this one, I'm going to start by subtracting 11. So then I get x squared plus 9x plus 45 raised to the 1/3 equals 3. And then I'm going to use the 1/3 root on both sides. So x squared plus 9x plus 45 equals. Okay, do I need a plus or minus on this one? So what is the top number of our fraction? The top number is 1. 1 is odd, so I do not need a plus or minus, so no plus or minus. And then when I type in the 1/3 root of 27, or I'm sorry, of 3, you should get 27. Now, because this problem has an x squared, you will need to move the 27 over to the same side so that you can factor it. Yay, factoring! So then we're going to subtract the 27 over. So I get x squared plus 9x plus 18 equals 0. And then fast factor. What multiplies for 18? That adds for 9. And that would be x plus 6 and x plus 3. And then remember, when you're solving, you switch your signs. So x equals -6 and x equals -3. And you have your two answers and you are done.